That's highly suggested. Of course, throughout Lanai, we are seeing more so of a wind threat there because of those winds being filtered throughout our Molokai and Maui. Now, taking a look at that time lapse, as you can see, just for the portion of Maui, that's when we're expecting these winds, heavy rains. Right now, we're seeing all of those effects as we progress throughout today. Oahu, early afternoon, we could see that system just part north there, and then more so later on this afternoon throughout tonight for Kauai County. That encompasses Ni'ihau as well as Kauai. Still holding on to maximum sustained winds at 90 miles per hour, and it's still moving at that momentum of 16 miles per hour. Of course, most of our tracks still show a west-northwest motion is still on the track, or they're mostly in agreement. But of course, you can always have a westward turn. That's also a possibility. But most of our tracks on the good side is that they're still moving a bit more to the north. We're hoping it could move even a bit more north as it does close in closer to Kauai County. Over to you.
And TJ, you know, I was reading about hurricanes here in Hawaii, and typically we don't get that many tropical storms, yes, but how often and how serious would this be for us here?
We are going to continue to do it, this only being the first hurricane of the season, and for it to be pretty close, for it to even hold on to Category 1 status and be this close to the state, making this much of an impact, that kind of just sets the tone for hurricane season this year, and it's definitely important just to continue to stay prepared.
And just, I know you've been busy too, Tasia. Just personally, I know you have family all over the islands. I mean, what are you hearing from people that you care about, just in our different islands that you know?
That's right. I'm definitely working, but of course I care about my ohana, so I am checking in with them. My papa lives up Kahikinui on Maui. He hasn't answered back yet. He definitely is, I know, very busy, continuing to hunker down. They're getting a lot of rain in that area, as we just saw in the last half an hour, about 1/4 inch of rain. My uncle on Hawaii Island in Waimea said he's been getting a little bit of rain, but of course, thankfully, that system has moved a bit more northward. And across Oahu, family and friends are all just saying that they're prepared, they're waiting, they're staying at home, and definitely they're continuing to send me pictures of people camping on the beach. They're all just waiting to see it, I guess. But we definitely want to encourage you to stay safe, and even though if there might be a northward turn more so with the system, it's always best to be on the safer side and just prepare and stay home.
Yeah, it sounds like, again, there is that hopeful possibility it'll go north and move fast, so we don't see the devastation from flooding and those impacts of surf. Tell us more about kind of the biggest threat you think that people should be bracing for.
Right now, I would say wind number 1, rain number 2, and with the last couple of days, we were forecasting that the system was going to continue to break down and weaken, but the National Weather Service has forecast that it's going to continue to stick around a Category 1 status for the remaining of today into tomorrow. And as we saw with the track, that still encompasses Hawaii Island. So although if it does go to the north, there's still going to be some dramatic impacts because of that Category 1 status, maximum sustained winds at 90, and of course of that moving at west-northwest at 60 miles per hour. If anything, we hope it does not slow down. If it can just stay this momentum or even move quicker, that's always best if we can't get that northern turn.
And, you know, we talked to Mel Raposa there on Kauai, and obviously definitely a lot of feeling of deja vu, especially just after they finally recovered from the North Shore with that historic flooding that they saw. I mean, the way that things are moving now and the pace of it, what could we see there on the North Shore of Kauai?
Definitely for the northeast. When we even have a lot of rain, we already see a lot of impacts for the island of Kauai. So if you upgrade that to a hurricane, definitely expecting to see some significant impact regarding rain and stronger winds. But again, we saw the cone of uncertainty have Hawaii Island within it within just the last few days, and there's been a major change there. So we're not downplaying it, but there are definitely some room for changes. Just to quote National Weather Service yesterday during a video press conference, they said that there would be little wiggles and wobbles within the track, but those little wiggles and wobbles could make a very big difference to what kind of weather you'll get.
All right. Well, Tasia, keeping us updated on the track of Hurricane Douglas. We'll check back with you in just a minute again.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right, well, meanwhile, Hurricane Douglas, as we mentioned, is expected to pass north of Hawaii Island this morning. Some good news there, but, you know, they definitely better to be safe than sorry. I mean, just yesterday, this was considered in the direct path. Of course, things can change quickly. Now looks like not going to hit there at all. But if Civil Defense gave the Red Cross the green light, there were evacuation centers in place there in Hilo at Hilo High School Gymnasium, one of 4 across the island that would have been activated there. Now, officials want to make sure those seeking shelter have plenty of room to social distance. So the capacity there, 50 people. Of course, with COVID-19, everything has to be kind of scaled back. Normally, the gym would have a cap of 2,000 people.
They're going to get their temperature taken, they're going to answer some questions, and then we'll register them, and they'll come in and they'll select a spot. They're going to have to social distance once they're inside the gym, wear the face masks at all times, use hand sanitizer, and they have to bring their own water, food, blankets, pillows, anything to make themselves comfortable throughout the night.
Yeah, and the good news we heard from TJ, it looks like they are not going to have to use those after all, which is a good thing there. And we will have a live report, though, from Hawaii Island with a look at current conditions. Even though they didn't take a direct hit, still pretty rainy and foggy out there. That's coming up in the next hour of Good Morning Hawaii.
That's right. All right, let's do a time check now. 9:05 a.m. More than 700 households on Oahu's North Shore stocked up on emergency food supplies before today's arrival of Hurricane Douglas.
Yeah, and KITV4's Eddie Dowd, he was there as people lined up in their cars outside the Polynesian Cultural Center.
If dealing with a pandemic wasn't hard enough, add a hurricane to the mix.
Stay home tomorrow now, be safe, okay?
Already struggling families lined up to stock up on supplies ahead of the storm. One of those people, Valentina Samuelson, who says she has relied on food distributions like this one to feed her household.
I work hard. I have 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I work hard for my family. I'm a single parent.
We just totally commend families who want to make sure there's enough food in the house, to make sure the keiki eat, to make sure the kupuna eat.
Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell was there to help give out food, but also make a last-minute plea to residents.
Please just stay home, take care of each other, take care of your family, your friends, your neighbors, but stay home.
Saturday's distribution is the last of 3 that served Oahu's rural communities, but organizers believe more will be needed as COVID-19 continues to spread.
At the end of the day, it's incumbent on all of us and all of you, face coverings, 6 feet of physical distancing. Do not jeopardize our recovery.
Eddie Dowd, KITV4, Island News.
And our Ho'okupu, or giving campaign, has raised more than $31,000 so far to help buy grocery store gift cards for families in need. To find out how you can donate, visit our website, kitv.com/give.
Yeah, and just a reminder, the dangerous weather conditions are forcing several areas and attractions to shut down. We got a list for you right now.
Yeah, Haleakala National Park is closed until further notice, and all sunrise reservations are canceled. The park says once the storm passes, it will determine when it's safe to reopen.
Now, we do want to cycle back to our team coverage. KITV4's Malika Dudley, she is standing by from Pukalani, Maui with the latest. I know we talked to you a little bit ago. It looks like it's still raining out there. What's it looking like?
Hasn't changed, still raining out here. One thing that I just got into the newsroom is video from Hana, and I know we've been wondering about this, so now let's take a look at that video. My friend Kanoe Marino sent this in saying the waves are going off. You can see how big the waves are there in the distance. So there's no video right now, but you'll get to see it. The waves are just, they're huge. She's up on the cliffside, and from there you can see just how big the waves are. So be careful out there. The forecast right now is a high surf warning for those east-facing shores with 15 to 25-foot faces expected. So as the system continues to approach, it is likely that these waves are going to get bigger. And we definitely want people to, when in doubt, don't go out. That's the motto for from the Lifeguard Association. So just be really careful. I know on the Big Island, TJ was showing us video of people out in the ocean. This is just for the experts. And of course, they are not within the cone of error, the cone of uncertainty. And so they're a bit safer down there than we are here. I would definitely advise, if you're here in Maui County and you're looking at those waves out in Hana, please don't go out. It is not the time to go out, but quite an impressive sight to see those huge waves rolling into the east side here on Maui. Other than that, it really hasn't changed too much. I haven't heard any thunder or lightning yet. The one thing I just want to remind people, just like Tasha was saying about the cone, right? So what does that cone mean? So when you look at the cone, it's like this, right? And it has the southern line and the northern line, and then you've got that center line. What does it tell us? So this is a bunch of data that is coming in from ensemble models all over the world, and a lot of data that's other computer models. It's a lot of brain power coming from the guys at the Central Pacific Hurricane Center and the National Weather Service Honolulu office. And all of that information is used to create this model that they push out to us so that we can make decisions to keep our property and families safe. So the center of the system will pass somewhere within that cone 2/3 of the time. The center. So when you think about how big this system is, and you can see it now on satellite, it's just massive when compared to the islands. This is why we can't drop our guard, because the center of the system could still pass along that southern line. If it passes along the southern line, you can see how far those effects, the hurricane force winds effects, which extend 30 miles from the center, the tropical storm force effects, which extend 105 from the center. You can see how different that forecast would be if it was going through the center or if it went along the northern line of that cone. So that's why it's just so difficult to give you a specific forecast. Okay, having said that, the National Weather Service does have some specific forecasts, but you should definitely expect them to change as the system continues to approach, depending on where it goes, what intensity it's at, how quickly it moves. These forecasts can change, and that's why we need to keep up to date. You need to keep watching the forecast, and they change. I think the updates are every 3 hours now. They used to be 6 hours. And so every 3 hours, you're going to get an update, and you need to keep your eye on that, and you need to make your decisions based on the latest data. I just kind of got on my high horse.
It's okay.
It's important, yeah. And
you mentioned, last time we spoke to you, we heard the alarms that they were sounding, the emergency siren. Have you heard anything about more of that coming?
I haven't, but the 8:30 a.m. siren was intended to alert people to shelter in place or at home and to do this, watch the news, keep up to date with the information. So I think it did what it was meant to do, and I suppose if the EOC determines that they don't think that people got the message, then we might be getting another siren, but I haven't heard that that's going to happen.
And you mentioned your friend, and I think we now do have that video from Hana. But I mean, obviously that's a very remote part of Maui, and you're seeing a lot of that rain. Is there any potential for flooding there? I know there's only that one road in and out there.
Yeah, so Hana is an interesting area, right? There's one road in, one road out. The community there is very tight-knit, so I know that no matter what happens in the next few hours, they're going to come together and support one another. When it comes to Hana, what happens is along the Hana coastline, when you get a lot of rain, then the angle of repose, I don't want to get too technical here, but basically landslides can happen. And so once a landslide happens, the road is impassable, and now you can't get in or out. So another reason to stay home. You don't want to be going out on the roads and something happens to you, and now you can't get to, urgent care or whatever it is that you need. So stay home, hunker down. Hana is not the place to go right now. You shouldn't be leaving or going there at all. But that's the biggest concern, I would say, in Hana is the landslides that occur along that road, and then now you just can't go in or out. Hana gets a lot of rain, so the town itself should be okay. But again, this is not normal rain. This is tropical storm or hurricane rain, and that is massive.
All right, well,
I've never been through a hurricane or a tropical storm.
We thought we lost you. Are you still there with us, Malika?
Hear me?
Okay, we can hear you.
Yeah, looks like there's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, we got you.
We can hear you. We just can't see you right now, but it's okay. I did want to ask you. We're also trying to report all the closures right now. We see that Foodland announced that all its Maui locations are going to close at 9:30. So, up and prepared. This is really not the time to be out anyway.
Correct, yes. So all of your preparations should have been done prior to today, and that's what the messaging has been for several days now, even longer than that, you need to have stocked up on everything. Fortunate, I hate to kind of use that word, but because of the coronavirus, a lot of people already have things stocked up. So I think there's good news there that, if you weren't quite able or didn't have the time to go, and now Foodland's closing and Zippy's closing and everything's closing, and you're like, food, that a lot of people have things stocked up because of the stay-at-home order due to the coronavirus. So it just really shows us that we should always have an emergency kit. Always, always, always. Hurricanes, sure, they have a season, but there is no tsunami season. What was it, a week ago? The days are running together for me now, but just a few days ago, we had a tsunami scare. And if that had happened, it could happen anytime during the year. So you should always be prepared. You should always have your 14-day kit. Don't be scared, be prepared. That's the message.
Yeah, definitely great advice there. And, as we mentioned, Foodland closing in 15 minutes there. But as Malika just mentioned, if you're on Maui, it's already kind of past the point where it's safe. So if you're on Maui, do what Malika's doing, stay at home.
What about shelters? Remind us again about the shelter availability.
I know several opened at 7 p.m. here on the island of Maui, and there are a couple more that have opened this morning on Molokai and Lanai. I don't have the specifics, but I know that they're on our website. So if you need that information, please head over to KITV4.com.
And Molokai and Lanai, they can still get impacts of this. I know this is kind of moving north, and they're a little bit insulated from that, but I mean, they could still see something as well, right?
Absolutely. When you look at the cone, actually let me pull up my cone so I can see it here in front of me. When you look at the cone, it shows that side of the cone goes through Maui and to the left of Molokai and to the right of Lanai. So again, what we're looking at is you take a look at that giant storm. If this system happens to pass along the southern edge of the cone, then for sure Molokai and Lanai would get some of those more intense type of conditions. However, keep in mind, like I said earlier, these conditions can extend far from the center, and so you should always be alert to the fact that high winds could occur, that rain could occur, and that the storm surge and the high surf could occur on those east-facing shores especially.
I don't know if you heard through IFB, but TJ Horgan on the Big Island, let's talk about a small world. Your brother-in-law there, out surfing there, and he on the Big Island.
And he says hello.
He says hello.
I know, talk about serendipity.
Yeah.
But you should probably advise him about the safety.
I do want to say something about it, though, because Nikoi... Yes, well, I did want to say something about that because I did mention earlier that if you're going out in the ocean over on the Big Island with the waves that are building, but less of a threat when it comes to the other impacts that are possible with this system, you should be a pro. You should really know what you're doing, and Nikoi is. So I just want to let you guys know we're not promoting surfing during these conditions. The guys that are out there at Honolulu, they know what they're doing. They've been in they live for hurricane surf. But this is not the time to go out with your board for the first time.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thank you again, Malika. We'll check in with you again in just a few moments, but thanks for that report. We're going to continue to follow Hurricane Douglas in Honolulu, too. KITV4's Nicole Tam joins us live at Sandy Beach. Is she with us now? Maybe she's not ready yet. Let's see. Okay.
All right, yeah, we'll check on that. All right, yeah, looks like she's getting ready right there. All right, we can hear her. Yeah, so she's actually looks like she's in Waimanalo.
Okay, so she switched. She was earlier on Sandy Beach, and she was talking to some adventurous surfers.
There she is. Hey, Nicole.
Now she's in Waimanalo. Okay, there you go. Over to you, Nicole.
Hey, Annalise and Tom. Sorry, yes, I was chatting with Carol Ka'afu. She's one of the Red Cross volunteers, just about the operations during COVID-19 and, you know, Mother Nature with natural disasters with this hurricane coming. So, Carol, as we were chatting, just tell us about the changes this year with the pandemic coming, or being in the middle of pandemic and having to shelter.
Well, first of all, there will be a screening as you come in. Just like when you go into any other place, you'll get your temperature checked and someone will ask you questions. If you are positive for possible COVID, you will go into an isolation area where they'll have a special area for you. And if you're not, then from there you'll go into other rooms with your family members where you can shelter in place. Things that we won't have at this particular shelter or any of the shelters this time is we won't have food and water and cots. This is more for emergencies. If you don't have a safe place to be, please come to a shelter. But if you do have a safe place to be, or a family member or friends that are in a safe place, go there. It's much better. Normally it's 10 square feet per person in a regular hurricane evacuation shelter. Now we have to do 60 square feet per family unit. So if you understand that there's our capacity is stretched to the max, but we don't want anybody to be in an unsafe place. We want you to come and be safe if you need it.
And you're saying you won't refuse anyone from coming into the shelter. So what if the capacity kind of extends to the max where you can't do the 6 feet distancing?
Right, so we won't turn anyone away, and if we have to get closer, we will. We'll try and do it by family units so that there's more, still some protection, but really we won't turn anyone away. And we are not, here in Waimanalo, we're not a pet shelter in that we don't have the Humane Society here, but you can bring your animals with you, but please bring crates, leashes, all those things that you need. Sorry, of course.
Live TV trouble, sometimes the phones go off.
Yeah, so do bring your pets. We don't want anybody staying home because they think they can't bring their pets and they're in a dangerous situation, but bring all your pets' needs. Just like you need food and water and a place to be, they need a crate, they need their food, they need their water, and we have a place for them also.
And you were telling me you actually went across the nation throughout the years to help with other natural disasters. I mean, again, this is just a new thing for us to have to adapt to a pandemic. And just how did that experience kind of help prep you for handling this?
Well, one of the things that you learn is that everything changes, right? So my training for responding to disasters has helped me get through the last 5 months because every day something changes, right? In a disaster, you never know. In 5 minutes, we could have some thunderstorms and we have to run in and do something different. So it's just that flexibility of learning to anticipate what might be a problem, try and work around it before it happens, but then be flexible to solve once you have an issue that comes up.
Flexibility, definitely a key word here. Carol, thank you so much for being here. Again, she is a volunteer with the Red Cross. And of course, if you're planning to come out to a shelter, they're open until the disaster is declared clear.
Can I say that in the past, in Waimanalo, it's been at Waimanalo School, but we're at Pope Elementary. So please don't go to Waimanalo School. I hear there's some people there. Come to Pope Elementary. That's where we are.
Good. I'm sure people appreciate all your help. And yeah, again, there's those extra screening precautions because of COVID-19, but you can find a list of the shelters that will be open.
Also, bring your mask, wear your mask. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, again, if you need those shelter locations, you can head to our website, KITV.com. But for now, reporting in Waimanalo, Nicole Tam, KITV 4 Island News.
It's Nicole, and as Leah mentioned, as Teja was saying, if you are on Oahu, you have a little bit of time to prepare, and there are 13 shelters on Oahu, as Nicole mentioned. They've been open since 9 o'clock this morning, but because of COVID-19, Mayor Caldwell says this should only be used as a last resort. Now, if you are planning on using that, though, there's on Central Oahu, there's Mililani High School, Moanalua High School, and Waialua High and Intermediate School. And closer to in town, the convention center, of course, Nicole was there a little bit earlier. That one can house up to 1,600 people, and also Niu Valley Middle School as well. And over on the leeward side, Campbell High School, Lehoku Elementary School, and Nanakuli High and Intermediate School, and Pearl City High School. Windward side, we're talking about Castle High School, Kalahelo High School, King Intermediate School, and Pope Elementary School. Now, a lot of options around Oahu there, but again, the mayor stressing, please use this as a last resort if you can. Get your supplies and shelter in place safely. But of course, we are in the pandemic as well as a hurricane, so if you are heading out to one of those shelters, a little bit different this time around. Some of the requirements include wearing a mask. You heard the person she was interviewing really stressing that. Social distance and everybody's temperature will be checked. And even if you do have your temperature checked, they do have some other options as well. They're not going to turn you away. They will help you out. But also make sure you bring your own emergency kits. And the Red Cross is reporting more than 300 volunteers are secured. Obviously, this is something that they prepared for. They're ready there, and they are in place.
That's right. Well, Honolulu Emergency Operations Center says prepare to evacuate if you live in a coastal storm surge hazard zone, any flood-prone areas, or live in an older home that's considered before 1995, on exposed ridge lines, mountain slopes, or if you live in an older plantation-style single-wall homes without foundations.
Now, it is recommended that you have that 14-day emergency kit, so a lot of people wondering, what does that entail? A gallon of water per person per day. Non-perishable food, we know a lot of people have already stocked up on that because of the COVID-19 pandemic. A flashlight and radio, a first aid kit, and 14 days worth of medicine. If you have any prescriptions, make sure that those are all up to date. And of course, with COVID-19, pack some extra masks as well and some hand sanitizer. All right, meanwhile on Maui, Mayor Michael Victorino urging all residents to shelter in place during this storm, and you should already be doing that right now. It's in 5 minutes, all the Foodland stores are going to close there on Maui. We also heard from Malika, just the conditions there right now. Make sure you are in place there. No more time to go out and do any last-minute preparations on Maui. He noted that Douglas is expected to pass dangerously close to Maui County, bringing along a triple threat of hazards, damaging winds, flash flooding, and dangerously high surf.
And emergency shelters in Maui County. There are 5 on Maui Island, open Saturday, on Maui High School, South Maui Gym, King Kekaulike High School, Lahaina Intermediate School, Hana High School, Lanai High and Elementary, and Molokai High.
Now, meanwhile, the bus routes on Maui are suspended during this storm. According to the county's transportation department, that includes the Maui bus fixed route, paratransit, commuter, and human services transportation.
And here in Oahu, the Department of Transportation Services reduced bus services at noon. It's asking people to limit travel to essential trips only. If weather permits, it'll resume bus services tomorrow at 6 in the morning.
Now, because of Hurricane Douglas, Honolulu Ocean Safety's only staffing mobile units, so all the towers at the beach parks are closed, but the lifeguards are still patrolling the areas out there.
And shipping company Matson is adjusting its schedule to make sure neighbor islands get supplies after ports close. Several of its ships are they arrived yesterday or today to unload cargo before heading back to sea.
And meanwhile, back on Oahu, the YMCA of Honolulu announces they're closing all their branches and their summer day camps on Monday because of the storm. It's also closing its grab-and-go free healthy lunch sites that same day, but they do plan to reopen their activities on Tuesday.
And Hawaiian Airlines canceled all flights between Hawaii and the mainland today. That includes services to and from Los Angeles, Portland, Sacramento, San Diego, San Francisco, and Seattle. It's also canceled all neighbor island flights today. Anyone affected can change their trip without fees.
And we just got word from Alaska Airlines. They have also canceled their evening flight between Seattle and Honolulu today. Its afternoon flight, though, also between Seattle and Honolulu is still scheduled and will accommodate any passengers who were supposed to be on that evening flight. The company does expect to return to normal operations again tomorrow. But of course, this is all up in the air. Travelers should make sure and check those flight statuses at alaskaair.com.
All right, let's take a live look now. This is Kahului, and let's check in with Tasia to find out what's going on over there on Maui.
Yeah, we're picking up a lot more rain, especially for our Maui Island. If you could hear within the camera, lots of breezy weather moving on through as well. Here's a look at our Doppler radar. You can see those outer bands encompassing pretty much the windward areas of Maui Island. Thicker, heavier showers just a bit more northeast, less than 5 miles out. And we did just get an update, this one from Robert Ballard, shout out to you at the National Weather Service, that there were gusts that were picked up around 64 miles per hour in Kula, just leeward of Haleakala. So with that elevation a bit higher, this number could be a bit higher than recorded, but this is what we're getting right now with the stats. For our Maui, we'll continue to see heavy bands of showers as we are seeing right now, at least for the next couple of hours, as the system continues to truck more toward the northwest. And mahalo to Josh Ige over on Lanai sending in this video. As you can see, lots of cloud coverage, some isolated showers, but more so some of those showers right now over on the westward end of our Lanai. But we do know that Lanai is pretty breezy as of right now. Taking a look at we're going to bridge the gap between what's happening now and what we're expecting to happen. Here's the cone of uncertainty. You can see, as Malika has actually explained that quite nicely, that this is all the different possibilities of where that storm can go. As further south right here, it's pretty much just brushing that windward side of Maui. Those showers will continue. And then as we move on throughout today, that cone of uncertainty does encompass the entire Oahu, but the center more so toward the north. Again, there is a possibility that that system can move anywhere down throughout this south line and all the way up to this north line. So of course, we're continuing to pick up some heavy showers right now. Heavier showers are possible later on throughout today. Kauai County more so later on tonight. And as you can see, still expecting some Category 1 force winds for Kauai later on this late afternoon into tonight. So we'll continue to track that right now. So the Category 1.
And you know, Tasia, you mentioned Maui. We just talked to Malika. She's kind of upcountry Maui. We already know Haleakala has closed, but it looks a little calm there. When we look at that live camera in Kahului, you know, what are we noticing there so far?
Kahului right now, we're seeing on and off showers that are continuing, lots of wind. More so Haleakala, as we saw on the radar, heavy pockets of showers. If I can pull it up right behind me, as you can see, as that system right there, those outer bands just kissing those windward areas, but a lot of that moisture embedded into the wind flow. So we're seeing some heavy pockets of showers from time to time. Of course, going to focus over Maui County for the next couple of hours.
That's right, and we're talking also about the biggest impact felt perhaps on Kauai, considering the track. What can we expect in terms of the biggest threats?
That's right. The 3 bullet points that we've been stressing this morning throughout pretty much the last couple of days as we are continuing to prep for this system is those bullet points of those stronger winds. Some flash flooding is possible. That flash flood watch is in effect for the entire state. And of course, some dangerous surf is still a possibility, especially for those windward areas.
All right, so what's kind of the timetable? I know right now the foodlands have closed there on Maui, and we can't stress this enough. If you're on Maui, it's already kind of too late to go out. But in terms of the rest of the island chain, Oahu and heading up towards Kauai, what's the timetable going to look like in terms of at what point should you be already in place?
Well, according to the National Weather Service, just this morning at 5 o'clock, we did have a video conference, and they were saying we can expect some effects of wind and rain more so by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock this afternoon for our Oahu. And that system still moving at 60 miles per hour. We can expect some of those effects for our Kauai later on this afternoon throughout tonight.
And we don't want to forget about the Big Island. We talked about how they missed it here, you know, like they're in the clear at this point. But there are still going to be some effects. Can you remind us about those?
That's right. They're in the clear of a direct impact, but of course, wind, rain, it's still a possibility. A lot of that energy behind the storm still impacting our surf just a bit. Some areas on the windward side picking up about 6 to 12 feet right now. Again, there's still a possibility from Hawaii Island all the way up throughout Kauai County that our wave heights could reach 15 to 25 feet.
All right.
And all right, well, thanks, Tasia.
Thanks.
All right, meanwhile, the Department of Land and Natural Resources is closing all state forest lands right now.
Yeah, the Waikiki Aquarium also will be closed today. And a reminder that the city of Honolulu has canceled its Kalakaua Open Streets event. It was supposed to be this morning.
And meanwhile, Governor Ige has confirmed that President Trump has approved and signed an emergency disaster declaration, making federal funds available for the storm damage in case we see that as well.
The response from the administration has been very quick. We've gotten authorizations in record time in every single instance so that we could work federal, state, and county emergency managers respond to the needs of our community in a timely manner.
Again, it's recommended that we all pack a 14-day emergency kit that has food, water, medicine, flashlights, and a radio. You're also encouraged to have extra masks and hand sanitizers. For more information and any breaking news updates on Douglas, you can, of course, check out the Hurricane Center on our website, KITV.com. We're, of course, continuing to bring you all the latest updates all morning long and throughout the day through tomorrow. And right now, Tasia is standing by. That's right.
Yeah, and you're actually with Bob Ballard from the National Weather Service. What's the latest, Tasia?
That's right. We're all jumping on. So we've got to have our hats off, and that is to Robert Ballard and everyone at the National Weather Service. Aloha, Robert. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning.
Perfect. I'm glad we can hear each other. So everyone watching, this is the Science and Operations Officer at the Central Pacific Hurricane Center. And on YouTube, press conferences, you have been doing such an amazing job keeping us updated. We thank you for that, answering our questions. I have to give all the credit to you guys there. So thank you. Mahalo, mahalo. Let's ask a few questions right now. Can I ask you, was there any substantial rain amounts recorded this morning for especially the eastern end of the state as that system did pass on through?
So far, the rainfall, the bulk of the rainfall from Douglas has remained offshore. Now, it's not far offshore. The rain shield is starting to scrape Maui County. So we'll start to accumulate that rainfall as it moves through. Every little bit that Douglas goes north at this point, more north than west, is good news, and it would keep conditions over the islands. But we do think that at some point we're going to see more of a westward turn toward the islands, and that would bring more of the rain and the wind that you've been talking about across the smaller islands.
Earlier this morning, we said, or you said, that for Oahu, we can expect some of the wind threats by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock this afternoon. Is that still the same, or is it expected earlier, later?
Yeah, that's kind of an early onset time, so that would be about the time that we would expect things to begin downhill. The conditions would start to more definitively weaken around 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. That timeline still looks good. Of course, as we go into the evening and nighttime hours, it'll be pretty touch and go as we watch to see exactly how Douglas goes. But at this point, we think that there's a pretty good chance that we're going to see strong winds and heavy rain on parts of Oahu this.
Hey, Bob, when you mean strong winds, do you mean tropical storm force winds, anywhere from that range of 39 to 73, or are we expecting a little less?
Yeah, that would be sustained winds, and maybe not everybody is going at the same time. The mountains do very interesting, strange things to our winds, as we all know. And so as Douglas goes by, some areas are going to be getting really strong winds, and some areas at that moment will not be getting strong winds. But yeah, I think we could see tropical storm force sustained winds in some areas, and then some spots could see hurricane force gusts, and that might be even if the center goes just a little north. Now, like I said, some of the computer model guidance has us really concerned, and it still shows a little westward jog pretty much right into Oahu later today or into tonight. We really hope that doesn't happen, but that's why we have a hurricane warning up for the smaller islands.
That's right. And then I know that we've seen this storm dramatically increase all the way to a Category 4, then substantially weaken within the time to a Category 1. In the last few hours, well, let's say the last at least 7 hours that I've been tracking it, I've seen it stay the same maximum sustained winds, same west-northwestward motion at 16 miles per hour. Can you explain why that weakening has pretty much stopped?
Yeah, we think that as the center of Douglas began to move over the warmer water closer to the main Hawaiian Islands, that may have slowed the weakening trend down or temporarily stopped it. We do still expect, and in fact, have the Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunters. They're sending us great information. They're literally flying through the storm right now, doing crisscross patterns and getting us updated data. We're seeing signs that the weakening trend may have resumed, and we're going to keep an eye on that data to make sure that that's a real trend that we're seeing. But I would expect at this point that it looks like a very slow, gradual weakening trend is resuming for the afternoon into the evening. That said, that does not preclude the idea that we could still see damaging or destructive winds, as well as really heavy, intense rain and a storm surge on the east side on top of really high warning level, life-threatening surf.
That's right, and we went from surf. Let's talk about that flash flood watch, which is still in effect, and it says about 5 to 10 inches of rain is possible. Now, for Hawaii, that doesn't seem like a lot, but can you talk about that, how much damage this really can cause?
Yeah, the 5 to 10 inches of rain, of course, around here, you know that when it rains hard, it rains really hard. We can get flash flooding in a short amount of time if you get 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in just an hour's time. And we would expect that if the center gets really close, we would see intense rainfall amounts like that. The mountains only make it worse. They squeeze that tropical moisture right out of the atmosphere. And so we are really going to be looking for possibility of intense flash flooding rainfall. If you remember Darby a few years ago when we got big thunderstorms that just dumped tremendous amounts of rain, but only in a 3 or 4 hour period. But that caused a lot of damage and flash flooding on Oahu.
And normally if the storm does move slower, we usually see a lot more rain accumulate as well. I know we know the cone of uncertainty. Do you see any slower movements, or do you think that system's going to slow down at all moving across the island chain?
I don't think that we're going to see a really significant slowing trend. I think that it may go just a little bit slower than what we're seeing now. You make a really good point, though. This is not like Lane, where we're expecting 30, 40, 50 inches of rain as a really slow-moving hurricane comes up to the islands. Douglas is going to continue moving toward the west-northwest at 15, 18 miles per hour, and so that's going to moving right along. But again, really heavy rainfall possibly in a short amount of time.
Thank you, Doug. I have one more two-part question. I know you're very busy. We can see Maui County, especially with just dancing with that cone of uncertainty right there at the brink. Can we talk a bit more on the timeline for the western end of the state that seems to be more in, I guess I would call it that threat zone? Can you talk about the timeline of wind impacts for Oahu throughout Kauai County and then rain impacts for Oahu and Kauai County?
Yeah, sure. That's a great point. As along, where the worst weather is occurring is going to move along with it. So we have a little bit of time on Oahu, still a few more hours before things start to go downhill here on Oahu. Again, like you said earlier, looking at early afternoon for the onset of the storm, and then things will probably get worse as we go into the evening and early overnight, and then hopefully improve as we get into Monday. Kauai will be a little bit later. They'll have most of today, should be pretty much fine with Douglas remaining well to the east. But then as Douglas gets closer, we expect maybe the first part of the storm, the onset of the heavier rain and starting the wind increase would be, around 7, 8 o'clock for Kauai, and then into the overnight hours and late night, that's when you're really going to see conditions deteriorate and the worst of the storm would hit, with things not getting better on Kauai until a little later into Monday.
Thank you, Bob, so much for your time. You and your team there at the National Weather Service, we definitely aloha you, mahalo you, and your team for keeping us updated. And we definitely encourage you to stay safe and get a break every once in a while. Thank you again.
Thank you for helping.
All right, so a good update there from Bob there. I guess, Maui kind of still, as you mentioned, sort of uncertain depending on where you live and if things change. Same with Oahu and Kauai. But we do know, Oahu and Kauai, if anything, it will be the north-facing shores that see, possibly the brunt of it. But again, it all depends on how that shifts. So we'll, of course, continue to follow him and get those updates as they come in. All right, I do want to change gears, though, for a moment as we also continue the double threat. Of course, Hurricane Douglas, but also the spread of coronavirus infections. Can't ignore the fact that for the past couple days, we've been seeing a record number of cases now for the third day in a row. As a matter of fact, the Department of Health reporting 73 new cases across our state.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll be standing by for more of those numbers today. 68 of them are here on Oahu. 5 were reported on Maui. 188 new cases were reported over the past 3 days. You'll remember we had 60 on Friday and 55 on Thursday.
And Mayor Caldwell says some of those cases are a result of community spread clusters from bars. He says one unnamed bar hosted a July 20th gathering for a UFC fight. He says the people at the bar, the crowds, were not social distancing. They were not wearing masks. The bartenders and customers have been testing positive right now, and more people are still waiting up on their results. Now, the mayor says he may have bars close at 10 p.m. He says he's going to be talking about those possible rollbacks with Governor Ige and the other mayors tomorrow. Of course, also Maui Mayor Michael Victorino also asking the governor to possibly put inter-island travel back with the quarantine as well. And speaking of Maui, 5 new cases there in Maui County are believed to have spread through some large gatherings. The district health office estimates another 200 people were exposed to the virus within the past week. Now, the county has already contacted about 100 people that have been known to have come in contact with those 5 people who tested positive. But District Health Officer Dr. Lauren Pang believes those people could have gone out and infected 100 more people.
Asking you to step it up because of the massive exposures as we try to pick off individual cases and contact tracing. This thing can turn on a dime and it can become 15 or 20 or 500 overnight almost. If that's infected, then you'll see the effect maybe 7 days from now, but by then, the time you see it, it's too late to change your destiny. You're infected.
And the county is asking people to make sure they follow those 5 W's to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. As he mentioned, it can happen quickly. You want to make sure you wear your mask, watch your distance, wash your hands. Of course, we've heard that a lot. And only go out if you're well. Wipe off your surfaces frequently and only go out when there's a wide open space. Good advice there. Meanwhile, turning to the Garden Isle, a new emergency rule aims to stop visitors and vacation rentals from exploiting a loophole in our state's 14-day mandatory quarantine. According to the county, some out-of-state travelers have been marking themselves as new residents to Hawaii instead of visitors, and then instead of quarantining at a hotel, they're staying at short-term rentals, which then allow them to break a 6-month lease early. But to prevent that loophole, the county's new rule would prohibit those vacation rentals from being a quarantine location more than once in a 6-month period. Now, if caught, the property owner could be on the hook, the manager, the landlord, the tenant, and the guest could all face $5,000 fines or up to a year in jail. All right, well, as we continue to track Hurricane Douglas, the dangerous weather conditions are forcing several areas and attractions to shut down.
That's right. Haleakala National Park is closed until further notice. All sunrise reservations are canceled. The park says once the storm passes, it will determine when it's safe to reopen.
And today, the Department of Land and Natural Resources closed all state forest lands as well.
And the Waikiki Aquarium will be closed today, as well as the city of Honolulu canceled its today's Kalakaua Open Streets event. That was supposed to run this morning until noon. And meanwhile, check out this video. It's of Air Force Reserve members flying into the eye of Hurricane Douglas. They left Barbers Point at Kailailoa Airport Friday to capture this video above the storm. They'll use data collected from this mission for forecasters. And you know, Tom, we were talking also about kind of the dangers of flooding.
I'll come right back to the phone when I'm done.
I was talking, or actually following Hawaiian Electric, and they remind people that with flooding and the storm and the surges, down power lines are going to be a concern. And if you see it, you can report any of that to their trouble line. We'll have that information online as well, but be sure to stay away from it at least 30 feet away.
Yeah, and you know, they're already saying just preemptively make sure you unplug those devices.
Yeah.
And you know, you still have a little bit of time to prepare, and we want to go right over to Tasia Worley. She is continuing to track that. I know we just got that update from National Weather Service there. What's the latest right now, Tasia?
Hey guys, that's right. Super busy right now, changing batteries in between shots, putting on, taking off my face mask, and answering some viewers' questions. So please bear with me as I try to mic up right now just off screen. Not that attractive on screen. Okay, let's take a look at our Doppler radar. We're picking up some heavy showers right now for the windward areas. Sorry, totally forgot I had my mask on. For the windward areas, we have got those heavy pockets of showers for our Maui. As we just saw on the cone of uncertainty, that it's really lining up with those windward areas of Maui. So more so the cone of uncertainty still does encompass the western end of the state. So this is the most moisture that we have been seeing in the last couple of hours. There's still a possibility of it actually continuing to downpour for the next couple of hours. Here's a look at that cone. You can see that that system is expected to just dance on the back of Maui all the way throughout to Maui County, and there's still a possibility that there could be a westward motion, as we just heard from Robert Ballard from the National Weather Service. Now, taking a look at the westward motion or the west-northwestward motion, we're seeing a lot of showers being picked up over on the windward side of our Oahu. Expected to get even heavier showers, especially later on tonight, throughout midnight and early tomorrow morning for Kauai. So that timeline has definitely slowed down just a bit. So we're not expecting those impacts for Kauai later on this afternoon, more so late this afternoon into tonight. I'll have your next update coming up, but for now, over to you.
All right, Teja, just we heard from Bob earlier about some of the timeline. The biggest brunt we're going to see here first on Oahu. And again, remind us about what we should be seeing starting in the next few hours. We're going to see some of that strong winds, that flooding, the big threats.
That's right, especially with how slow this system is moving right now. Like, the good thing that we're hearing is that it's going to continue this forward motion of 16 miles per hour. We don't want it to move slower, because if it moves slower, that means that more rain can accumulate. So, of course, early predictions are around 1, 2 o'clock for wind and rain for our Oahu. Of course, that could be extended a bit further, but of course, better to be safe. And then later on this evening for Kauai County throughout tonight at midnight. And by that time, we'll have our meteorologists in as well to go over with you step by step on how much impact that's bringing to the state.
And, you know, obviously, you know, the Foodland stores on Maui are already closed. You know, we heard from Malika, already seeing some conditions out there. Everybody kind of staying in. You know, obviously, you mentioned the cone of uncertainty. As this kind of progresses, after the Big Island, of course, would come Maui after that. Are we getting a better sense of possibly where that might fall at this point?
That's right. We did see a lot of change in the past couple of days with it weakening, and now, as Robert did mention, Robert Ballard from the National Weather Service, now that that system is traveling over some warmer waters of 79, 80, we're seeing that continue to fuel the system and keep it at that strength, a Category 1, maximum sustained winds. So we're still in that cone of uncertainty for our Oahu and Kauai County, and as we have been continuing to see that the system can travel anywhere that south line, anywhere north line. Most of the models do agree that where the center is, that's where the biggest possibility is. And as you can see, definitely still going to be a Category 1 right as it brushes toward Kauai County's northeast. But again, it could go anywhere, down south, up north. There's a lot of uncertainty there, but we do know that those 3 bullet points of threats, dangerous surf, winds, and rain, still very much a possibility throughout today and early tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Teja, your earlier interview with Bob Ballard said that flooding also a big concern, and we're getting reminders again about down power lines if power were to go out. Again, what's kind of the mood that you're, I guess, seeing from your friends, your family, that you're hearing across the islands about prep and the concern about this, especially with, you know, this is one of those stronger hurricanes we're going to be seeing, the very first one.
Yeah, it is the first one of hurricane season. Department of Transportation has been reporting some traffic signals already out throughout Maui. So that just sets the tone that we're not even at the worst of it yet. So that's just the beginning. Those are some of the possibilities that we can see throughout today. As Malika Dudley did mention, especially around the road to Hana with a lot of rain in that area, landslides is a big possibility. Last, when we had a couple years ago Tropical Storm Lane, we had a lot of down trees, a lot of landslides throughout Hana. It took crews a couple hours to get through that. So definitely want to remind everyone to stay at home, shelter in place. it's just a couple of days. We're just going to deal with this, the brunt of the storm, more so in the afternoon throughout tonight. Late Monday, that's when we should be more so in the clear, and then we can return to our happy lives. But of course, stay prepared. As Malika did mention again, a great point. We have a hurricane season till November. This is the first hurricane of the season. It goes all the way throughout November, and we don't have a tsunami season. We don't have anything like that. It's always best to be prepared, especially with food supplies, especially right now in our new normal of the pandemic.
Yeah, if anything, that taught us, right?
Yeah, definitely stay prepared. And we've been tracking the storm for quite some time, since it brewed in the eastern Pacific, and then as it made its way into the central Pacific, we were already getting that cone of uncertainty of that track moving toward the west-northwest. So we've had a lot of time to prepare, and it's definitely important to continue to stay on your toes at least until November.
Yeah, that's right.
And I know, Tasia, real quick too, I know last time we talked to you, I know you were talking to your uncle on Maui. I know you have family across the islands. Any update from them? How are they doing?
So my papa from Maui still hasn't reached back to me. I know he's very busy. Big Island, they got a bit of rain in Waimea, and then picking up over on the windward side, especially through Wailua. My friend said it's pouring. I'm trying to get some video, but we're definitely continuing to see a lot of those impacts. Oahu, however, everyone's just watching us at home, continuing to get those updates, and of course, we're staying on top of it right now.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks so much, Tasia Worley, for the latest update. Check in back with you, but I've been checking in with friends in Kauai as well, and they seem to be doing okay, bracing for the worst, but they have been prepared. But let's check in with our Nicole Tam, of course, with what's happening here in Honolulu. Nicole is live from Waimanalo. What do you have for us today?
What's your name again, sis?
Annalisa and Tom, that's right. We're here in Waimanalo at one of the shelter spaces, and I'm here with community advocate Kukana Kamata. Thank you so much for being here with us. Just talk about, you were over at the Waimanalo Beach Park helping out with people who are experiencing homelessness. What's the latest over there?
I'm so blessed to live in a community where we have individuals that come out and actually kokua beyond themselves, and they're actually preparing. So the other day I went down and bought some stakes and ropes and tarps, because they want to stay in place. Like many of us do in our homes, you want to just bunker down and be safe where we're at. And so right now they are partaking in prayer. So we've had churches come down to see what kind of kokua they can give. So I want to mahalo Pastor Chris, who has come down to give them an opportunity to be able to store their important paperwork, because we all know how important and hard paperwork is to get, birth certificates, all that. So he provided that service for them, amongst other things. The Mighty Men of Christ also came down to help where needed, and so everyone started doing their part. And I'm just so grateful and thankful that First Cross is here at Blanche Pope Elementary, because I've been talking with them, okay, so we have to organize shuttling, because usually they go to Waimanalo School or to the gym, and for this specific hurricane or emergency, they're right up down the road, and so it's really a great thing that shelter is being put here at Blanche Pope Elementary.
And from speaking with the community, how has it changed, since we're in the middle of a pandemic and we're preparing for a natural disaster? What is the mood or the response you've been getting from the community, and specifically maybe the people over at Waimanalo Beach Park?
We just going to stay here. I've been seeing my community members and neighbors put boards up, straps on their roof. This area is older homes, and so there are some fears of things flying from neighbors' yards. I see neighbors talking to their neighbors to see about, hey, you guys gonna do something like that, and so I think communication is really important, and it's so wonderful to see that our neighbors are doing that, and so just being prepared. Waimanalo has a store that has its own ability to run a generator to keep it running, and so I'm just really blessed to be a part and live in this community called Waimanalo.
Any concerns at all with the pandemic or the hurricane?
Of course we have concerns, but you can just do what you can do, and we should be content with that. I know a lot of fear is going around as we hunker down and watch the news, and I hope that even this can bring some kind of hope and some optimism, that we can take care of each other, and being able to, do what we can for others after our needs are met is a wonderful thing too, And so, yeah, I'm just, like I said, our community down there at the houseless and homeless area, Waimanalo Beach Park, Department of Hawaiian Homelands, you know, they're hunkering down, they're in prayer. You know, I've seen people come, and so when I left them, that's what they were doing, you know, and so I agree, I stand in agreement with them that all will be well, and if they do need to leave it, they have this option, so I'm just really grateful for it.
Sure. Kukana, thank you so much for being here with me this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yes,
Aloha to you all.
And I was actually also down at Waimanalo Beach Park, and I saw some people were still trying to secure their tents and really putting things in boxes to make sure that if a hurricane does hit directly, they'll still have their belongings set. So thank you for what you do, and of course, please stay safe out there. But for now, reporting live in Waimanalo, Nicole Tam, KITV4 Island News.
Mahalo.
All right, Nicole Tam, been tracking all of Oahu for us, really been hustling this morning. We appreciate it. And we are continuing to follow Hurricane Douglas in Honolulu as well. Meanwhile, we do want to turn to some breaking news right there, pulling this up. Right here, we're following a fire that's happening right now. This is video that was just sent in from Tiffany Hurst, and you can see the smoke coming from